Alrighty, Taurus. Welcome, Taurus. Welcome to your weekly reading that is also timeless. It's Terra Firma Thursdays, which means I'm reading for you, of course, and I'm reading for your highest good, your highest outcome, as an act of service to you, my friends. So thank you for being here. It's my pleasure to have you on the channel. I am your fellow bovine buddy. Yes, indeed, I am a Taurus as well, so let's get right into it, shall we? Taurus Sun here, by the way. I've got lots of Taurus placements, actually, but Sun being the main one that we like to tell people about, right? Sun, Moon, Rising. Right. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're going to use the Baroque Tarot. I'm going to start throwing cards immediately. We're going to use the Baroque Tarot today and the Wild Unknown Pocket Edition. And I also have the Mondoc Lenormand here. So we'll use a little Lenormand at the end of the reading to get some potential advice or course of action kind of instructional type message out of the situation. At least that's what I'm hoping for. So let's see what happens. Alrighty, we're kicking it off with the High Priestess. Got the High Priestess here. Alright, we have the Two of Pentacles. And we have Judgment. Okay, underlying the deck here is the Moon. There is a conflict. There's something that you're juggling. There's a conflict of what you feel is right and what you feel it is you truly desire. There seems to be a disconnect between the two, Taurus. I feel like some of you are very conflicted because there's something you want to do, something you truly desire in your heart of hearts, and that Moon card, like that really inner world. There's this external call to do what's right. I mean, I know I'm a little out of the box on this card, but there's a call to do what's right here, to be righteous. Yes. Yes. Comment below if you knew what that was. I won't tell you. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun little game. Anyway, we've got the Two of Pentacles and Judgment here, the juggling. There is a call to really go to your intuition and really go deep into trusting that inner knowing. And of course, this conflict could involve a water sign, but I'm really interpreting it more as you sort of getting into your intuition and really trusting it on this particular topic. The external world has got an expectation of you to do something, but it's not in alignment with your true inner passions. All right. I don't know why I just stopped talking. It's peaceful. Anyway, let's get some clarification on the High Priestess there. Sorry, I just kind of went into a mode. All right, let's get into the High Priestess. We've got the Six of Pentacles. This is something about, like, in this particular card, you can see there's a vine there, and the pentacles are like the fruits that are starting to take shape on the vine. So something is starting to come together for you. It's going to be good. It's things are starting to move in your favor, and it may be bringing a balance to it, in a sense, a balance of things. We have the Five of Cups here. There's some sorrow. There's a fear of loss. There's some potential actual loss emotionally of some kind. This does happen. And then we have the, the Seven of... Good Lord. Count them. There's 8. Sorry, I don't use this deck that often anymore. And this is actually the deck I learned on. I've got a full-size one that's my own personal one. And I just had a total brain fart. But we have the 8 of Wands here. Lightning strikes. You see how the lightning is striking that center wand and illuminating the circumstances? This is really an aha moment and a clarity on, like, where your passion should be aligned, where it should be put. Okay? Underlying the deck is the Son of Swords, or the Knight of Swords. There's some swiftness here. It's not always a good thing. It's not always a bad thing. It's just hasty. I think that some of you, especially with this 8 of Wands energy combined, there was something that really just clicked, like, aha, this is what I meant to do, and you're just going to go. You're just going to go. It is something that ultimately is to your benefit and to your favor. It may come at a cost. we live in a world of double-edged swords. You know, everything has a cost. And I guess what I'm getting here is that maybe something you truly desire to do could potentially cause some kind of separation or loss emotionally with another person. So, you know, I don't know, moving out of state or something, away from a partner or even a friend or family, you know, could be any of those things. But whatever course of action you want to take, I think it's something that will come at a cost. And I think that's why the decision is so hard to make. Because it is costly. Everybody can see that it's costly, and everybody wants to give you advice about what the right thing to do is. And I feel like you're really wanting to go against the grain, Taurus. Imagine that, being stubborn and all. Not that I'd know anything about that, but I feel like you might have a little resistance to following the crowd on this one, whatever it is. But let's get some clarification on the Two of Pentacles now for you, Taurus. We've got the Nine of Cups. This is about your personal happiness and your personal bliss and harmony. This is about your internal harmony. You know, the moon is here over the cups, and that is your inner world. Again, it's the feminine aspect of you, Taurus. And by the way, Taurus, your sign is feminine. Take it as it resonates, of course, but this is about what really makes you happy. It's what you're juggling. It's like, what really makes me happy versus something else. We have the Seven of Cups here. This is all about choices. You see the 6 cups being upright and the 7th one is inverted. Or you have this new cup that's upright and the 6 cups are inverted. This is really a choice between, because if you're not familiar, the 6 of Cups is about long-standing and established relationships. So you have a choice between like the familiar and the established, or something new. And it feels, again, like a double-edged sword. It's like one of these situations is going to affect the other. And then we have the Four of Cups. This is a lot of emotional energy. It's protective. I think you're really, really nervous to spill cups. You're really nervous to spill cups. I think it's super, super critical to recognize the fact that your own happiness is the most important thing you can do in this life, because as a happy and fulfilled person, it gives you the opportunity to serve others in a much more impactful way. You don't need to sacrifice your happiness for the sake of others, because frankly, it's not helping them nearly as much as a fulfilled and happy you would help them. So you're always more effective as the best version of yourself that you can be when it comes to serving other people, and that comes by putting yourself first and being selfish a little bit. We have the star on the bottom of the deck here. You know, you are the star. You're the star of your own movie, Taurus. You're the star of your own movie. And your wishes, the things that you would wish upon a star for, are valid and important and meaningful. Don't let people take that from you. Don't let people take it from you. And you know, story time. I'm a Taurus sun, like I told you before. I am now 39 years old, and last year, 2021, my 38th year, I took a stand for myself. I made a choice. I made a choice to go after the ace rather than sticking with the 6 cups of the card, aforementioned card. Forgive me for being so cryptic. I basically, I ripped myself out of my own life, out of my own previous reality, and went into a completely unknown frontier. Everything about my old life is dead. It's a completely different paradigm. I literally jumped into a different reality. And that was a difficult decision, but am I happy I did? Yes. Yes, I'm happy I did. So just FYI, if this is your story and you're really on the fence, it's like there's a possibility that it's coming due for you, you know. I feel like a lot of Tauruses have kind of gone through these things recently, but there's also a pattern that has a lot to do with particular cycles in the grander scheme of things, and ages, and I feel like many of us that are in our sort of mid-30s are almost it's almost like a midlife crisis, but we're really not at mid-age yet. I mean, ideally, hopefully, right? Is what it is. And some of you may be saying, well, Matt, good for you, but you're in a van. Yes, I'm in a van. But I'll tell you a secret, Taurus. Building this van was a grand distraction for me. It was part of the process that I needed to do to develop a circumstance and some personal development, so that by the time this van got done, right before it got done, I was almost finished with it, and I was getting ready to tour the country. I was going to drive all over America with this van and do my tarot and just kind of explore for a while, take a little time off from any kind of routines. Well, you know, a wonderful woman came into my life about 2 weeks before I was ready to take off. And, you know, my mom had also coincidentally moved across the country, and this new exciting woman I'd been talking to was basically on the way. Really, it ended up being kind of close to where my mom was moving. And so I went to my mother's house when she first got to town. And then I went on to meet this woman and pulled this van into her driveway. I haven't left. That was in March. We just hit it off, so you never know. I don't actually live in a van, so that's what I'm trying to get at here. The trope of living in a van down by the river did not happen for me. My name is Matt. I am divorced. I am in my late 30s, but I don't live in a van down by the river. I just film out here still. Anyway, Judgment, let me get back into your story. I apologize for taking all your time here. I just think it's valid. Chasing your dreams or being true to yourself is absolutely valid. Your happiness is valid. We have the 10 of Cups here. Regarding the Judgment card, 10 of Cups. That's your ultimate fulfillment. 6 of Cups. Remember I was talking about this with the roots? It's the deep-rooted and long-lasting relationships, the deeply established ones, family, lifetime friends, all that kind of stuff. And we've got the Ace of Swords. This is the sword of truth. This is communicating your truth. Underlying the deck is the World. This is the end of a major cycle in your life. Potentially the end of a major cycle, because what comes right before the World card in the major arcana? It's Judgment. Judgment is the final boss of the major arcana before we get to the World. And the major arcana is about massive cycles of personal growth and development as we go through life. So there's a huge change here, a huge shift. Now, what I think, kind of one of the things I'm picking up on here that's really interesting to me is I talked about Judgment feeling like that righteousness or that compulsion to do what's right in the eyes of others. What it really is like a soul. It's like a soul intervention, a mission realignment in somebody's life. It's really like divine intervention, like knocking on the door of your heart, sort of, and really making clear something that you, getting the final bit of clarity on your deepest desires, because the ultimate truth is this. Spirit, the divine, they want you to have your deepest desires, because your deepest desires were put there for a purpose. Again, to serve. You serving in your highest capacity is a fully happy and fulfilled you. So there's nothing wrong with understanding desires and pursuing them when they are in the context of you being a healthier human being, a happier, healthier human being, because that allows you to then go on and love other people, you know? Service to others is not sustainable if you're not taking care of yourself at all. What I see here, though, so we have this divine intervention that wants to bring you your ultimate happiness here. We do have this long-standing relationship situation, and we have the the Ace of Swords. This is clear communication revealing a profound truth, okay? I think what this is really saying your piece that you need to say to somebody. The clear communication is the only way to resolve this conflict, this inner conflict. I feel like, again, you know, you're really, really on the cusp of, like, you really deeply desire to make some kind of change, and I feel like you've feel suppressed. This clear communication may provide you a circumstance that is a different way out, a different option. You know, communicate. With the Six of Cups here, it's like family, friends, or a relationship, or whatever it is. It's like, I feel like if you really express how you're feeling to these people with this Ace of Swords, it's going to really bring that opportunity for them to then respond to that, you know, and respond in a way that maybe brings a lot of happiness into your life. A fulfilling relationship, meaningful relationships with your friends and family and your lovers, perhaps. But there's no... The thing about it is this. All of these cups are pouring into one another. You see how they're all pouring into one another? It almost looks like light beams, but these are cups. They're all pouring into each other, and no water is lost. There's no wasted emotion here. It's fulfilled. It's totally fulfilled and pacified. And you can't expect to be satisfied if you can't communicate something that you need or desire. So there's a key there, a big key, I think, for you, Taurus. You know, follow your heart and do what's right, you know, in the sense of what your heart's telling you. But if it's about ending something, I feel like you really owe it to yourself to make sure that you are clearly communicating what's going on to the respective people in your life that are important to you, so that if it's something they can do or some way that you can work with them, you'll have that opportunity. But you won't have that opportunity if you don't talk. So we're going to get right into this outcome for you, Taurus. All right, one more shuffle here and we'll get into it. All right, potential outcome line. Potential outcome line. Emphasis on potential. We have the Eight of Wands. This is about rapid communication coming in, and it's an alignment of passion. All of these wands lined up in the same direction. That's all of the fire energy of different aspects of yourself or different people even coming together for a common goal. So this is very, very, very positive. You have the potential to make things happen here. We've got the Hermit card. This is a call to introspection, like we were talking about a minute ago. I mean, really go within, figure out what it is, like what are you really desiring? If you can get into this energy and really contemplate and reflect on what it is, like if you're feeling trapped or something, it's like, well, why am I feeling trapped? And really like try to dig into it. You gain a lot of enlightenment about yourself. And again, that in turn lights a lantern out in the world. Your wisdom that you've cultivated will shine a light for others. Okay. And we've got the Two of Wands. Yes. The Two of Wands. You've got the world in the palm of your hands here. I feel like the decision of where you want to go and how you want to do it is something that is going to be very much in your court. The decision needs to be made by you and you alone, really. This is usually a card of having energy like directed at something kind of far off. You know, it could be a major change, a major shift that you're getting ready to go through. Underlying the deck is the Five of Cups. So there is definitely a potential for some setback here in terms of emotionally, you know, it could be a painful time. We had the Five of Cups earlier as well, so we've got that twice here, Taurus. There may be something going on that is, it's a double-edged sword. The Sword of Truth is a double-edged sword. You know, these swords are not like katanas. They're double-edged. They cut both ways, and so everything in life is like that. I think that there may be a sense of loss no matter what you do, but do you want to have grief over the fact that you never pursued or tried to pursue what was calling to you in your heart, or are you going to feel some sorrow over the losses that you had to incur to pursue those things? It's a mixed bag. I'll tell you what, I mean, my changes that I briefly touched on, I mean, that was an extremely painful time in my life. It was transformative, but it was very painful. It was a difficult time. So we're getting into this advice from the Lenormand here. And the scales popped out straight away. So we have the scales. You know, equity, fairness, justice, those types of things. It'll be a 3-card spread, real simple. Let me just do a couple more shuffles here, and then we'll pull the other 2. And this is not a traditional Lenormand deck, by the way, so those of you unfamiliar, I treat it a little more like an oracle or something I can interpret a little more loosely than a traditional Lenormand. Lenormand is actually a very structured system. It's interesting, and I'm kind of learning about it right now. But anyway, I digress. We have the scales. We've got the bear. And we have the man. Okay, I think, and normally you don't do this, underlying energy, you don't do this with Lenormand, but I looked at it and it's there. This is the house or the home, card number 4. This deck has got a really unique one because it's the gate in that fence in the foreground is sort of, it feels like you can't go inside or that you're separated from it, right? It could mean many things. You could interpret it as I'm inside the house and I'm protected, or you could interpret it from this perspective of being outside that I can't get in. I think some of you don't feel, I feel like some of you don't feel at home in your home, you know? It's a message for somebody not feeling at home in their home. And I hope I'm wrong about that, frankly, because that's a terrible feeling. Okay. We have fairness. We've got kind of a large task. This can almost be this can be like a boss or an obstinate, difficult person in your life. It can mean lots of things. I feel like for some of you Taurians out there, trying to seek equity with this difficult person is the way to go. Trying to seek equity with this person is the way to go. Now, I would say this as well. These scales are also the scales of justice, and that does cause me to think of legal matters, court, and things of that nature. So if I'm hitting on a situation where you're thinking of ending something with a person, legally, of course, it's going to be a very big challenge. The person is going to be very challenging to deal with. I do think, though, that Spirit, we do know that Spirit is trying to align you into some kind of ultimate happiness here. So if you're going down that road, I do think that the scales of justice will be balanced. So take it as it resonates, of course. I'm not advocating for anybody to make extreme decisions like that. Not for me personally. That's for you to decide, my friends. But it does feel like some of you maybe are looking at some kind of legal matter here. So with that, Taurus, I think that's what I have. This is not a difficult, or this is a difficult decision. Excuse me. It's not an easy decision to make. So, again, ask me how I know. Anyway, I hope to see you next week, Taurus. Best of luck with this energy. If you are not subscribed and this resonated, please consider subscribing, of course. And I hope to see you next time, my friends. Take care. Stay strong. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay, bye.